The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina sometimes deals with disturbing and problematic topics. We provide a list of content warnings in the episode description. Hello and welcome to Dead Ends. I'm Emily.
I'm Brenton.
And if you listen to the very end of the episode, Brenton might include our mic check.
Oh, I think I would definitely will now that we've set it up here.
Yeah, you know, we're having a good time. We're here. We're alive. We're getting through it. Just like Nick, we're getting through it.
We are exactly. The only way out is through, unfortunately.
Yeah. Poor sad boy.
Yeah. He's having a real bad time. He continues to have a bad time.
Which makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
He had a bad time.
Like, oh my God. Like, you know, he is in the wrong these entire episodes. And
but you know why.
Exactly. And I feel like there's a lot of shows where it's like, I don't know if what that character did is necessarily redeemable. We've talked about that before, especially with love interest. But like here, you're like, he literally had the devil inside him and was like chained up in hell for like 2 weeks.
He was given the Princess Leia treatment.
Yes, he was. And it wasn't good.
No.
So, and the show also has a lot of still sympathy for Nick, and including Sabrina. Like, I like how that plays out a lot. So, yeah, no, I think that part's good. Now, are they consistent with everybody's character arcs that they've set up this season? Absolutely not. This is an Archieverse show. We're going to drop stuff off. We're just going to discard it in the next episode for some reason.
Yeah, no, definitely not. We're not keeping it.
No. Well, did I have something else I wanted to say? Oh, this episode also just kind of feels like a little, I guess, shaggy is the right word. Like, it's not like tight.
I agree.
Yeah, it's the Netflix thing where there's 58 minutes, but it be without the constraint. It's like we could really use like an editor to like cut down on some of this stuff. So things don't really hit, and like plots kind of like plod along to
they get lost.
Yeah, so some things don't have an impact, and then also like the other part, things are just dropped. So I don't think this episode's as strong as the other ones, but I think there's still good stuff.
Did you keep the Gilmore Girls stuff in last week's episode?
Yes.
Okay, so I was going to say, to bring it back to that comparison, I actually think that was a really apt comparison. Like, you use the example of, like, oh, they, like, thread something in the show, and then it finally comes up later. It's like, they're not quite doing that here.
No.
Still. Like, it's like, oh, we're just kind of, like, going to throw this here.
Yeah, like, Nick's thing makes sense.
Nick's is threaded.
But, like, well, when we start the recap immediately, as you said, like, I guess Harvey's just over it.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Harvey's like, yes. And we're like, last week you were scared.
And the whole thing with the snake charmer being like, oh, I'll take care of Roz. Like, and also then worming her way into Harvey's life. It's like, oh, she's going to be like playing psychological games with them. No, she's not. She does for a scene and then
but the psychological game is stupid too, because literally in the last episode, his dad was like, do you have protection? So why is Harvey acting like the threat to tell his dad he's going to fuck Roz like matters at all?
Yeah, no, it's really bad.
I don't know.
Yeah, so you're like, oh, something's going to happen there. And not really. She's just bad at it, I guess.
I shouldn't use the word fuck there. I feel like that was inappropriate. It was more, they're you know, they're going to have consensual loving sex.
That's fine.
I don't know. It felt aggressive.
Okay. Right.
I want to walk it back.
They're going to have a beautiful evening.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know how like I had a couple friends in high school that like when they had sex for the first time, it was like this really nice, lovely thing.
Yeah. That'll be Harvey and Roz.
Yeah.
When they're ready.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like they're ready.
When Harvey's ready.
Yeah. But Harvey...
Well, Roz brought it up, but you know, she can change her mind at any time.
That's
and
right.
we support her.
Mm-hmm.
You can change your mind at any time. About anything.
Yes. Yeah.
And those of you who listen to this podcast probably don't need that lecture, but you know.
Just so you know.
Yeah. Everyone should be open to changing their mind about things.
Absolutely. And you have to respect that.
Mm-hmm. Both in that way and just in general.
Exactly. Both for big things and minor things.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, well. Let's get into the recap. No new cast this week. So, chapter 24, The Hare Moon. Harvey and Roz hook up at the Kinkle house. Roz mentions that her dad will be leaving for a church convention for the week. Ooh. And then invites Harvey to spend the night. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And she says she thinks they're ready. And she has to call it off for the night and get home. And then Harvey watches her happily go. And then we see the snake charmer we get a shadow of her in the background.
Like
so
the
she's
snakes.
watching him. Nick gets ready and is about to put a strange liquid to his lips. Some sort of drug,
Like an
probably.
elixir.
Yeah, there you go. When Sabrina surprises him, so he hides it, and then she's astral projecting, showing off her cheerleader outfit, and invites him to be at the cheerleading flash mob later, and he agrees, and she leaves, and then he just bypasses using the dropper of liquid and downs the whole bottle.
He's in like his room at the academy, I guess. But like, why does he have his own room and everyone else sleeps in the same room?
Everybody's in cots.
Yeah.
And he has this lavish bed.
Was he like head boy or something?
I guess so. Everybody's like, well, Nick gets the nice room.
But Nick was never in the room was it just the girls that stayed in one room when Sabrina lived there briefly?
Maybe.
Maybe.
All the boys get queen beds.
Yeah, I don't know.
Silk sheets. Harvey has breakfast with his dad when the snake charmer emerges because she spent the night after meeting Papa Kinkle at the carnival. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. PK kisses her before he leaves for work, and then Harvey notices she's wearing his mom's robe. Paging Dr. Freud. She tries to entice him by taking off the robe, but he declines. And then she threatens to go to his dad about him and Roz hooking up, and he tells her to mind her own business. The coven gets ready for the Hare Moon. Instead of like previous celebrations,
Lupercalia.
Yes, or Christmas.
Solstice?
Yes. Where there's like some sort of magical thing happening. This is just kind of like a way to like celebrate and things. There's no deeper magical connection usually. And it's celebrating, rebirth as they let go of a hare. And then Zelda tells Sabrina she must be the person to release the hare that year, and she reluctantly agrees. Miss Wardwell is interrupted by Lucy's mother bringing her an edible arrangement, and Wardwell's like, what did I do again? Why don't you tell me all the details of what I supposedly did? Nick is late, so Sabrina writes to him. She does like a spell where she writes on her hand and then it appears on his hand. And we see he's drinking the day away at Dorian's and reads the note on his hand from Sabrina. Harvey expresses his worry to the Fright Club about the snake charmer, and Theo wants to go investigate the carnival. And they all agree except Sabrina, who has Hare Moon duties. And then Robin's like, I'll just sit this one out. Sabrina gets pulled by Hilda to have an emergency meeting at the academy. Which is a really good beat of comedy. It's like, did you astral project here, Aunt Hilda? And she's like, oh no, I couldn't. I just drove. Ambrose tells the family that dethroning and imprisoning Lucifer is why everyone's powers are waning. They go demand their power back from Lucifer, and he has to be set free. Zelda declines. Lucifer says, well, why don't you ask Lilith for help? Wait, she's not even queen of hell. And then he points to Sabrina having to do some splaining. And then the family leaves angry as they all learn that she's the queen of hell, and we see Nick sneaking around down there. Sabrina comes clean on being queen of hell, and Zelda yells at her for having a savior complex. It's really good. This is actually following up on your discussion of everybody wanting power last week. Mm-hmm. She's like, you didn't do this because you needed to. You did it because you like power. And then Zelda goes and that's healthy up to a point.
Uh-huh.
And Ambrose says they need a new source of mystical energy, and Zelda doesn't want to tell the students until they figure it out. Sabrina thinks that she can go to hell and find wherever the Dark Lord gets his energy from, like some sort of battery or something, and then we can use that to restore the coven's energy. And Zelda's like, okay, you can go, but Ambrose has to go with you.
Best field trip of Ambrose's life.
Uh-huh. Nick goes to beat up on Lucifer with brass knuckles to get his revenge. The Fright Club find the carnival empty, and Roz goes to sneak into the snake charmer's tent to use her cunning. She heads to the back room, and the snake charmer pops up out of a basket behind her. It's like a human-sized basket. And then it's really funny. Professor Carcosa catches the other two outside as Roz comes running out after she screamed, and the Fright Club runs away. And we see that Robin had sold them out, and the carnival is gearing up to celebrate the holiday. Lucifer taunts Nick for missing. Missing? Why did I put that there?
Like missing him.
Missing him. There you go. I'm missing a word. And then says there will always be a piece of me inside you. He says you're not actually hitting me, you're hitting Blackwood. And you don't want to punish me, you want to punish yourself. And Nick leaves in a huff. Inside Blackwood, Lucifer tells Blackwood that Nick will be back, and he has something that'll make Nick do whatever they want. Ambrose and Sabrina visit Lilith, and she says the Coven's gifts are not from hell because, Lucifer's a fallen angel. And so all the powers come from Lucifer to the Coven. And so all those powers are actually angelic powers, like celestial.
How could Nick have ever held Lucifer?
Because he's a celestial.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good question.
And shouldn't Nick then have a lot of power if he held him?
Yeah, if he was able to hold him.
And shouldn't Sabrina still have a lot of power?
That is actually the biggest thing.
That's like the biggest plot hole to me.
Yeah, they explained it away a little bit by Lilith going like, oh, well, you don't have enough because you also have mortal blood. But it still seems like she would have like a lot of power.
Yeah. And maybe not enough to give to other people, but she should have enough to protect the Coven.
Yes, absolutely. Because it also seems like she doesn't have much either.
Exactly, because the storm. She would have been able to summon that storm on her own. She does crazy shit in the end of the first season.
Right. Yeah.
I will say her power is very convenient.
Exactly.
It's up and down. It's up and down.
Centric? No, that's not right. Plot dependent.
There you go.
Sabrina has some power. Oh, I already mentioned that. And Sabrina's like, well, we just need to find another angel. Zelda vents to Hilda about Sabrina's lies, and Hilda tells Zelda about her engagement. And Zelda's like, I'm not mad about your engagement. I just, you and Sabrina are turning your backs on the Coven and me. Sabrina and Ambrose visit Dorian, who has an angel trapped in a painting. They want the angel's blood to power the Coven, and Dorian says he can help. The Fright Club are back at the Kinkles, and Roz has something bad happening to her. Like she's getting really cold. It's kind of like she has a fever and can't really move, and tells Harvey to go get Sabrina. Dorian has the angel tied up and starts draining his blood. Hilda answers the door for Harvey, and he catches her up on Roz, and Hilda says the Coven's powers are waning and gives Harvey a blanket in the meantime until they can help. As the blood is being drained, Sabrina hears whipping sounds and is like, do you have someone being tortured back there? And goes to investigate. And then while she's away, Dorian drinks all the blood, and then Sabrina catches Nick being... in
his kinky cage.
Exactly, having a BDSM by the sex demons, and so she runs away and finds Dorian, who drained the blood dry, but he's like, oh, I left a little small vial for you. Sabrina comes home with the vial a bit shell-shocked, and then Hilda has an idea to use the blood, the little amount of blood they have, because they needed more, in a moon bath during the Hare Moon. Supposedly, the moonlight might activate the blood, and then Hilda and Sabrina show Zelda that they're part of the Coven, and then she reluctantly thanks them. Sabrina vents to Hilda about catching Nick with sex demons and feels bad about what happened with him and Lucifer. They agree that she'll talk to him after the Hare Moon. And the Coven sings the Song of Purple Summer, which is from the musical Spring Awakening. As Sabrina releases the hare, she finds all of the carnival folks surrounding her in the woods wearing masks. Sabrina runs back to the Coven to find Nick has come, and the carnival folk approach the Coven. Roz is frozen stuck, and Harvey grabs his rifle and says he's going to the carnival to find out what happened to Roz.
Why?
Maybe you should just stay there. Professor Carcosa removes his mask, and he says they're celebrating Ostara. Ostara is the festival of spring equinox, time to celebrate the moment between darkest winter and the height of summer. And traditionally with Wiccan and Pagans celebrates rebirth and life. So Ostara being like Easter. Mm-hmm. That's what gets co-opted. And I didn't do full research on this, but I assume that's where you get the rabbit on Easter.
Well, yeah, because the fertility of it. I mean, it's also the Hare Moon. Like all of that is at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that what they did in this is they showed like the different facets of non Christian religions, because I think that like people just associate all. It's like, okay, well, those are all witches or those are all pagans or whatever. And it's like, there's so many subsects to that.
Mm-hmm.
So I appreciate that they like show that.
Yeah.
Even if it is like a warring faction kind of vibe.
No, it's funny. It's because, I was thinking, I'm like, these are two religious factions being like, they're so weird.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like,
well, and they're wrong. So we have to punish them or banish them.
Yeah. Right. Hey, what did the Catholics do to the pagans? Except who's the bad guys in this show? Makes you think. Hilda.
The emphasis on the word guys.
Oh, that's true.
Who's the bad guys in the show? Basically, if you're a guy, you're bad.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Except for Nick and Harvey.
But I was thinking it's like ostensibly our Coven are the Catholics. And so then, but they're versus the pagan. So, Makes you think.
But they're not part of that main church now, so it's like a whole different.
That's true. They pray to the Virgin Mary. Essentially. That'd be like what essentially the change would be. Hilda invites them.
Except that is Lucifer God in this scenario?
Yeah.
And so then is Sabrina Jesus?
Yeah.
So then Wardwell's her mother.
Yeah, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Maybe not 1-to-1.
No, I was doing the math. I just, wasn't quite. I was like, yeah, I like this. Then I was like, can't write a 3-page paper on this. Doesn't quite match up. But no, I agree. And it plays really well with the Sabrina as the Jesus of it all.
Yep. Hilda invites them to have lunch and they agree. Elsbeth asks to make a prayer to Lilith, and Professor Carcosa's like, you're not praying to your dark lord. Sabrina makes small talk with the snake charmer, and she starts to pray. The snake charmer starts to prey on Nick for like all his proclivities with the sex demons and just being full of darkness. Zelda and Ambrose talk to Professor Carcosa, and he says they're travelers there. They're travelers, but may set down roots here. Hilda talks to the fortune teller, and she calls Hilda a weaver since she weaves fabrics and stories. And Hilda's like, I really like that. And then a spider appears, and fortune teller tells her not to hurt it. And Hilda says, I keep them as pets. And the fortune teller is like, you can't do that. The spiders are not happy being kept as pets. And then when Hilda is turned away, she casts a spell on Hilda. Interesting. Mm-hmm. Professor Carcosa calls the fortune teller away. We learn her name is Circe. Good time, I guess, to talk about Circe real quick.
Yeah.
Greek myth. So she is in the current Absolute Wonder Woman series. She is the adoptive mother of Diana, aka Wonder Woman. Oh wait, sorry. I'm getting reports that Circe is actually from Greek mythology, is a witch, sometimes considered a goddess or a nymph. But she is, many people would know her from the Odyssey, where she turns the crew into swine. So she is known for turning people into animals.
And daughter of Helios, right?
Yes.
Daughter of the sun.
Sun god Helios. Where was I? Oh, carnival workers figured out that they're satanic witches, and our main characters realize the carnival workers are pagan witches. Ugh. The family casts a spell for it to rain to get the party to disperse, but then Professor Carcosa sees them casting far away and realizes they failed to change the weather as the storm disappears. Dorcas appears to tempt Nick when she gets bit by a snake. The snake charmer comes up and sucks her wound dry. Nick appears after killing the snake, pissing off the pagan witches. Carcosa says they should leave, and Zella's like, well, you should. We were here first. And Carcosa's like, we were the old gods, worship the old gods, and they were here first, and their time has come again. Harvey goes into the snake charmer's tent and finds other victims turned into marble statues. Zelda chews Nick out for pissing off pagans, and then Nick refuses to go apologize with the pie that they made, the moon pie. Little Debbie, moon pie, and then runs off with Sabrina following after him. Dorcas is then given the task to go deliver it to the pagans, and Prudence tells Agatha to go with her. Sabrina catches up with Nick and wants to know what's going on with him and wants to know what happened to him in hell. Nick says he was humiliated and tortured for weeks, and he did all that to protect her, and he's angry that she let him sacrifice himself for her, and tells her she wasn't worth it, and throws Harvey in her face. She offers to help him, and Nick says whenever he sees her, all he sees is her dad, aka Lucifer, and since he can't get him out of his head, he'll continue drinking. So this is like one of those scenes where it's like, I feel like Nick's dialogue just needed to be cut down just like a little bit to be more impactful.
Really?
Yeah, like I think there was like too much time spent, like it was a little too long and spent circling like the same thing to like lay it out clear for us.
I kind of liked that because I feel like that's like more realistic.
Yeah,
like
that's
when
fair.
someone explodes like that.
Oh, right. Yeah, that it's kind of like all over the place.
It's all over the place, and he's like, because none of it's true, really. Like,
yeah, exactly.
He's angry and he's upset and he's hurting, but like all the things he's saying are. He's trying to pick the things he think will hurt her the most to say. Mm-hmm. And so he's like picking them out and then picking them out and then picking them out. Like he's looking for it. To me, that felt like a very realistic.
Yeah, that's a good read. Agatha gets distracted from following Dorcas by hoofbeats and a musical sound. It seems like she's charmed off the path. She gets like this weird white glow around her. And then finds Professor Carcosa in his satyr form playing a fife and dancing.
So who is he?
He's Pan.
He's Pan.
Dorcas hears a twig snap and then finds the snake charmer emerge with snakes from behind a tree and screams. Nick visits Lucifer, and Lucifer is like, wait, before you beat me up, I have drugs, red mercury and dragon tears. I thought for a second he was going to do, like, take the red pill and, like...
Yeah.
But he doesn't. And then if Nick does it, Nick gets them if Nick does him a favor. The coven performs the ritual for the moon bath, and it seems to work for them. And then elsewhere, we see the pagans perform a ritual to make the moon disappear by eating the moon pie. Zelda collects all the coven back to the academy when the moon disappears. Harvey comes back and finds Roz turned to marble. The coven finds snakes in all of their beds, and Melvin comes to tell them that the Pagans are gathered outside. And Gargoyle is like, you have 3 days, Ebenezer, to bow to their gods or die. And the Pagans leave, and we see Agatha dancing around Dorcas, who's turned to marble. Zelda tells the family they have to free the Dark Lord to fight the Pagans, and Sabrina's like, he's my dad, I'll do him. And then she goes downstairs to find Lucifer gone, and Nick on the floor with green and red oozing from his eyes and mouth. The end.
Let's talk about Nick first.
Yeah.
He's just traumatized, and it's sad, and you just, like, they really do this so well, and he's such a likable character at this point that you truly know that he's just hurt. Do you know what I mean? Like, sometimes when characters act this way, they're really annoying. But I don't know if it's a testament to the writing or the acting or a combination of both. But I don't feel that way watching Nick. Like, I'm just like, I'm sad for him, but I'm like, it makes sense.
Yeah, you're watching the car crash because you are watching the car crash and understand why it is happening. You like get where he's coming. He literally had possibly the worst amount of torture that anybody could go through,
like internal and external,
yes,
physical and mental.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so, even like we as the audience, I think, get a lot of sympathy from that, and then the show also expresses that too. Like, you know, it's not great that he's been cavorting with sex demons, like behind Sabrina's back, but Sabrina even is like hurt by this, but it still is just like, what's happening? Let me help you.
Well, and it's also, I think, because it's more normalized in their culture. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's less like it's less dramatic than like in the fully mortal world. Like, she's kind of making that sacrifice of like, well, this is like how things happen in this world. Like, when someone's hurt, like they'll act out in this way.
Well, and he has
and it's sex demons. Like, it's not, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I kind of read it as that it's like she gets that he's just in a really awful, horrible place, like from this. And in a sense, I think what they're doing with BDSM, it's like a way to safely explore the trauma he went through.
Mm-hmm. Well, and
whether that holds water, you know, I couldn't say. But.
Yeah, and the way he wants that full body distraction.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. That's part of it too, and I think it's also like he wants to punish himself in a lot of ways for either making that choice or doing that, or you know, it's just sad boy time.
Yeah, absolutely. And and like you said, he's trying to say things intentionally to hurt Sabrina that have like small little kernels of truth. Like, not the Harvey thing is all projection, but you know he does have to deal with the thorny issue of that was her father who wanted her to do certain steps that she has actually kind of fulfilled. And then he's like, well, was my sacrifice then for nothing? And like, I know you're not your dad, but he is the one that, you know, partially did all of this. He's the reason that I had to go through all of this.
Well, and I think it's also a lot of self-guilt because he worked with Lucifer to get her to this point.
That's so
like,
true.
Like, he played a hand in this. So I think it's like a lot of self-guilt. Like, he's like, I made her into this.
Yeah. 100%.
And I mean, I don't think that eradicates any of like his feelings for her or anything, but you know.
No. But he has had such bad trauma done on him that he can't be. Is that same thing that they should have continued to follow up with where a lot of the characters were last week of not being vulnerable enough to express things. And I think his is brought on by immense trauma that he doesn't know how to express these things to Sabrina, and is trying to act his best because, again, she is also dealing with lots of things. This was for a greater good, so they can like beat the devil. But now he's like, well, was that all worth it? What was that even for? While also loving this person, so he doesn't want to lash out at her until like this point that it boils over, and doesn't know how to handle all those feelings, and so can't express to her. So then it feeds on that energy of just round and round of pain and suffering, and then shame.
He makes me sad.
Very much so.
So let's talk about how Min fails Sabrina constantly. So Nick literally does the whole sex demons thing and lets out Lucifer.
Yes.
Dorian.
Because that's also the other thing is he is diving headlong into substance abuse and like addiction.
And then Dorian drinks all the blood. And it's just like, and obviously Lucifer fails her all the time. You know what I mean? It's just like this poor woman or girl. She's constantly being failed by every man she fucking looks at.
Absolutely.
Oh boy. But
and then even in Ambrose in the last episode.
It's just the whole thing.
Yep.
Yeah, I just feel bad for Sabrina in that way, you know?
Oh, totally. Sabrina's having like the worst time right now. She is trying to manage hell in the absence of other
and she's
people.
got that competition with Caliban. We got to take a break from this
week. Exactly. Trying to keep the coven together, honor her commitments there, trying to be a normal human at Baxter High with her friends, while also trying to rehabilitate her boyfriend who did an immense sacrifice for her. And that's the other thing too, of like where Nick throws in her face of like, you let me do it.
But he did it.
Exactly.
She did not ask him. I think that's like the strength of Sabrina is her not retorting with that immediately.
Yes.
Like she's such a good character in that way, where she does not throw other people's failures back in their faces, even when they do it to her.
Yeah.
And I think that's like a really like overlooked quality.
Yeah. And the way Zelda says she has a savior complex, but like she's also just like the positive side of not throwing yourself into things is also giving people a lot of grace.
Exactly.
Much like Jesus.
Interesting. It means nothing. Okay, let's talk about the animals of this episode. We got snakes, we got spiders, we got rabbits.
That's right.
That's it.
I love the emphasis.
We had animals. So the snake bites Dorcas, gets killed by Nick. Then there's a bunch of snakes in the bed.
I love the scene of Nick coming back in. He's like, well, we're not going to have to worry about that. And just the absolute devastation across the pagan witches.
It's also really funny because like Nick doesn't like Dorcas. You know what I mean? He does, but he doesn't. So like, why would he go kill the snake for her? It's because he just needed somewhere to put his like rage.
Well, he's like, I could help. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that, you know, why did the snake bite Dorcas? And then all the snakes in the beds like that, like why would you send more snakes towards them when they've killed snakes?
Yeah.
I have a lot of questions about this. Our Medusa-esque character, she's not named Medusa, but she basically is Medusa. And she's turning people to stone and she's got snakes. And I like Medusa in the concept because usually Medusa turns men to stone, but so far the victims we've seen besides the statues Harvey found are women, and I don't like that. No girl on girl hate crimes here.
Yeah, she's committing them left and right.
It should have turned Nick to stone.
I thought he would find his dad. Honestly, I thought when Harvey went into the tent, he would find his dad turned to stone. And I'm like, oh, nothing related to Harvey really here at all.
No, he's just like, oh god, it's stone people.
That's actually a big thing too of the like length of this episode of things that should have been edited out. Why do we need to follow Harvey to go to that tent?
No,
Raj should have just turned to marble.
Yeah, and then it should have been like, oh fuck.
Yeah,
I guess so that we know who's turning them to stone, because if not, Harvey wouldn't know. Harvey would have no way to know who turned her to stone.
You
can make guesses.
I mean, but she ran out of the tent after being harmed by her, so like I think he could put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah.
Or at least Theo could, and then help Harvey understand.
That's true.
And Harvey would have just blamed her anyway.
That's true. And then we've got the spider and the weaver concept.
I love it.
Me too. I also, were the snakes like, you know how the chasing the snakes out of Ireland was getting rid of the pagans, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, do you think that was intentional there?
Yeah, that's really good.
Or was it just simply I mean, I know we're not in Ireland here. And
Yeah, I think I touched on it. I think that's the funny thing about this episode. It's like, well, our heroes are the Catholics.
Yeah.
And the pagans are coming back to the town. They're like, oh, your God has fallen. Now we can finally be ourselves again and worship again. But we know actually that they're bringing about probably some sort of terrible thing because they're the evil people. But at least right now you're kind of like, well, I mean, well, they're kind of rude to them.
And they did a sacrifice of a person and they're trying to collect virgins.
Yeah. So it's like, what's
the vibe?
Yeah, but it's funny to frame the Catholic Church as the good guys, I guess. Well, look at our modern world.
Well, but
I just backed right into it.
Catholic Church, but it's being ran by women.
That's true. Oh, because they broke apart, like you said.
They're not a part of the Catholic Church.
Yeah, they're kind of like I don't know enough about them to really pull this in here. Never mind. Abort.
Back it up.
I'm like, I don't know enough.
I think those are my major things from the episode. And the hares, of course, because they're a symbol of fertility and the rejuvenation and it's the spring of it all.
Mm-hmm.
This is really aptly aligned with like when we're watching this.
Yeah, it is. It worked out well.
Yeah, we timed this well on accident.
All part of the plan.
You know what? Maybe it was.
That's right. Yeah, the hares are just kind of like a symbol. They're not playing as much of a factor in the same way as the spiders and things like that, of the spiders breaking the causing some sort of friction between Hilda, which we'll probably see next episode, question mark. Mm-hmm. But at least the snakes being the main antagonists here.
I think it's fun. They took the spring holiday, the Easter, the equinox, the star of it all, the hare moon, and they said, instead of making this about fucking, which is what a lot of us associate with the like fertility bunny spring vibe, they like, let's make this about like rebirth and rejuvenation, and like those are often closely intertwined as energies, and I think that's fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're trying to get the coven to be reborn, get their powers back, and also sans Lucifer's energies. Power. Things that should have been more highlighted. Oh God, I'm just trying to make a point and took the wrong exit. The angel in the painting.
Yeah.
2 seconds in the episode. I would have loved to know a whole lot more about that. I thought that was going to play a whole central thing, but it's like, no, he's just a guy on a table that we drained some sparkly blood from.
And is it implied that then Dorian drank all of his blood, so he died, so that there is none left for them to get more from? Because remember, she said to keep him alive.
Yeah. So we think that Dorian killed him?
I don't know.
You're probably right, because otherwise I'd be like, yeah, tap that bad boy back up. But can you kill an angel like that? I have so many questions, because it's like, it opens the door into like so much more. It's like, oh, let me learn all about angels, which is maybe we will in the future, because obviously there's a heaven to hell, but it's like, what's going on here?
What is going on here?
I would have liked to know a whole lot more. I mean, in the same way they're like building out the world, which I think is fun, with having the carnival workers be pagan witches, just different sides of a similar sort of coin.
But poor Robin Goodfellow, or a bad Robin Goodfellow.
Exactly. Selling them out.
Poor Theo is actually the
proper there.
Yeah.
And then I think the last thing I want to touch on is just the missed opportunity with Harvey in general. I thought we were going to follow up on like similar things that like Nick's going through, of like not being able to express themselves, causing friction in the relationship,
being almost like emasculated too by like Nick's never emasculated, I will say, by Sabrina. He's like, please, you know. I love bowing down to women, but Harvey is, and like, oh, I don't have the experience for this, and then like it's just gone in this episode. Yeah,
and that the snake charmer was going to be some sort of temptation for Harvey, because it's like, here's someone that is like enticing me for sex without like having to explore my vulnerability of opening up to my partner about my insecurities here. And then that becomes weird when he finds that like she was like with his dad and all that stuff. And then there's like weird Oedipal stuff going on there.
Yeah.
But that's just kind of dropped. It's like, oh, she's just an antagonist. And like in the same way that I thought she was going to do some sort of psychological, drive a wedge in between Roz and Harvey somehow of like what Harvey's actually thinking, like try and like play them against of like, oh, do you really know your boyfriend in that way? What is he not telling you about like his thoughts and things? But that's
nope.
No, she just turned to stone and womp womp.
Womp womp.
Yeah. So I think that's that's classic just Archieverse stuff.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Well, we say Archieverse, I guess probably
Riverdale.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this kind of stuff is like also happening in the Original Sin PLL series too. And not to say this is written by someone different, but like as a showrunner and lead writer on all of these series, it makes you wonder how much some of this is coming down from Roberto Aguirre Sacasa. I don't know, because they're all similar in vibe.
Yeah.
Even if and the tone are pretty similar, just like slight variations. But so that was just kind of my thing. But and like I said, there's different writers on all of these, but it's part of a writer's room with a showrunner and all that sort of stuff.
Exactly. I get you. It's whose name's at the top.
Yeah, and that he's involved in all those different roles of leading the series.
Anything else you want to speak on in this episode?
I think that's it for this one.
All right.
So we shall see what happens with the Coven next week. But until then, you can find this podcast on all your audio podcast platforms of choice at Dead Ends. You can also find us on YouTube for the visual version.
Where you can see my sewing project I still haven't finished in the background that I forgot to clean up.
I didn't even think about it.
I meant to clean it up because last week I pointed out how I left that on the ground and it makes it look really sad that we just...
A little surfboard.
A little teeny tiny ironing board on the ground. It's
really cute. I do like it.
It's like an American Girl ironing board set up.
It's kits. I just threw a name out.
Yeah, I mean, but it was the Great Depression. You probably still ironed.
Yeah, I'd assume so. I mean, you wanted to look your best, even if everything was going down around you.
Yeah. Make you read some of Kit's books.
At dead_ends on YouTube. And then we're also on Blue Sky at dead-ends, on Instagram at deadendspcast. And you can also write us emails, deadendspcast@gmail.com. Anything about the show that you want to talk about, want us to talk about, you can also post those in the comments on YouTube. We like talking to people there. And all the podcast art is created by Senki R, and you can find a link to their portfolio in the podcast episode descriptions.
All right. Well, not today, Satan.
Not today.
Herman looked up.
Oh.
You're not Satan, you're Herman.
But he agrees, not today.
Yeah. Oh, he's so cute. We can't show them. He can't see.
No.
He's hidden.
He's blocked.
In his bed. He's sleeping, kind of.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's not. He looked at us. But he's going back to sleep soon. That's kind of what he does.
Mm-hmm.
He's an old man.
Yeah. And get your rest. We should all take a page from Herman.
We should all learn to, we'll have you insert a picture of Herman,
Sure.
Put a good photo of Herman. I feel like they haven't seen Herman in a while.
That's true.
He used to podcast on my lap, remember?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was on the bench.
It wasn't a bench, it was...
The big seat, but Yeah,
we used to put a third chair so I could move it.
Yeah. Different times.
Yeah. All right. Well, we love you.
We love you so much.
Bye. I'm too quiet. Do I need to be louder? What if I just yell? Hello and welcome.
I should put that at the end.
It's not my fault that I'm just so dainty and quiet.
That's right.
I'm just such a tiny little girl.
Yeah.
No.